Hey everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog and welcome to another of my TV episode review series. So today's TV episode we'll be reviewing today is the Orville episode About a Girl. Now, before I get into my thoughts about this episode, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday. It could be Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Sunday evening, depending on when I could get the videos posted up. And if you happen to see a video posted up during the week, that must mean that there was a bit of TV or movie news that was released during the week that I wanted to cover. So those would be considered special videos. But new videos will be posted up every Sunday. So as you notice, I actually posted up a TV episode review of the Orville on Thursday, and that's because the Orville is being moved to Thursday nights from now on. So that means you'll be seeing a TV episode review of the Orville being posted every Thursday. Except in this case, I kind of posted up my video kind of late, but yeah, the Orville will be posted up the Orville will be shown every Thursday nights from now on. So now let's get into this episode. So what happens in this episode is that Bortus and his mate end up giving birth to a baby girl. And this is a problem because on their planet, most of the people are all males. And according to their planet, they're not allowed to have female babies since all the people on their planet are all males. And Bortus decides to go ahead and give the baby a sex change, like he wants to change the baby from a girl to a boy. And of course, Ed, the captain, is against this because he's like, it's not fair to the child that she should get a sex change at such a young age. Why not let her be a girl or let her grow up to be a girl, and then she can decide for herself if she wants to be a male or female when she gets older. And Bortus is like, you don't understand. According to my culture, everybody has to be a male, so I have to change the sex of my baby to a male just to protect her in the near future. And so the crew and Bortus end up going to Bortus's home planet to try to decide whether or not Bortus should change his baby's sex from a female to a male. And that's what the gist of the episode is all about. So, what are my thoughts about this episode? I thought this was like one of the most emotional and intense episodes I've seen so far, and it's also one of the most deepest episodes I've seen so far. And that's because it actually explores a real world issue that I think it handled very well in this episode. So, in this case, is whether or not it's okay for a parent to change the sex of their child at such a young age, and then versus like whether or not you think that your society is in the wrong for enforcing this kind of change on your baby, and should you even listen to them in the first place. So I like how this episode tried to tackle both issues from both different points of view. Like you have on one side Bortus and his mate is like, we gotta change the sex of our child from a female to a male because according to our society all people are male, we can't have a female baby. And then you have Ed and the crew's side of the argument saying, it's not fair that she has to have a sex change like that just because society dictates it. You should let the child grow up to be who she is no matter what happens, and then let her make that decision on her own when she gets older. So I like how the episode tackles those issues and trying to present how both sides are like struggling with this issue at the same time, because it makes some really emotional content in this episode, and I really enjoyed that. And this was probably the episode that made me see that the Orville is not a Star Trek parody like I originally thought it was. It's actually its own show. It's just the difference between all this show and the other Star Trek type shows is that this one has a lot more humor in it and it's a little lighter in tone. And I'm glad that there is a Star Trek type show that's like that, because in the past you have other Star Trek type shows like Babylon 5 and Stargate that are inspired by Star Trek, but they ultimately became their own shows. And I think that's what the direction the Orville is going in. It's like it's inspired by Star Trek, but it's still trying to be its own show. And I like how this episode tries to deal with a real world issue, and I hope to see this show tackle more real world issues like this episode did in the near future, because it would make the show a lot more relatable to the audience. And that's what I've really loved about this episode, is that how it tackles the real world issues overall. So overall, I give this episode 4.75. This is like the highest rated episode I have seen so far because of how it tackled the real world issue with seriousness. And then also, if you've seen the ending of this episode, it's like really shocking and really sad at the same time. So I can't tell you what really happens in the end, but I will tell you it shocks you. So you have to see this episode to find out what happens in the end. But overall, this episode gets a 4.75 because of how it tackles a real world issue. And I hope that future episodes tackle more real world issues in the near future. So that's my review on the Orville episode about a girl. And have you seen this episode? And what are your thoughts about this episode? Please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated any new videos I post up. And also, like my Facebook page, Rabbitearsblog's Best Comments. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you later.